Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I said I'd do it, and it is the season to be sloppy. Ta-la-la-la, la-la-la-la. That being Christmas films. That's right, Christmas films. Now, I know I've done this before, so I figured what the hell, let's do it again. Based on a book, the movie Die Hard. That's right, the classic Die Hard with Bruce Willis. Now, for people who may or may not know this, originally it was a book, as I just said. And I think the book was called Nothing Lasts Forever. And it was based on a retired cop who was going to visit his daughter in a building. It was in the morning, it had terrorism, just like in the film. Little bits in there that were different, and I know it's going to be a lot darker. Now, they had ideas well before the film. During the 70s, they were going to have John Wayne. That's right, believe it or not, John Wayne was going to play John McClane. Then I think it was going to be offered to Chief McClane, but because of certain reasons, the film never got made. And originally, 20th Century Fox was going to do a sequel to Commando. Remember the film Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger? But again, they never got done. So instead, they decided to do the film they set off doing in the 70s. What was taken off the book, without repeating myself, Nothing Lasts Forever. They altered the name and they was going to make it more like a thriller. But as it went on and went on through changes, like what they do in films from books, it got altered, and as we all know, to make history, the film was called Die Hard. Let's go on with the story. There had a lot of actors who turned the film down, or they was doing other films at the time, and they was really going to turn down Bruce Willis, because we all know Bruce Willis at that time. He was doing comedies, whether it be Blind Date with Jim Passenger, and he was well known for doing a hit comedy show, Moonlighting. Remember Moonlighting? He was famous for doing that comedy show, so they was having half picking Bruce Willis at the time. They really was turning him down a lot, but decided, okay, we'll give you a go, we'll give you a shot. And I'm happy they did, because I think Bruce Willis, as Tom McClane, nails it on the park. Starts off, they altered a bit of the story, instead of it being his daughter and him being a retired cop, he is a cop, and he goes to visit his wife in Macaroni Building, what was a real building, shot from 20th Century Fox. The director, he was well known for doing the movie Predator, directed it, did a damn good job, and the rest is history. So again, he visits his wife. You've got the terrorist with Sean Bean, who's sadly no longer with us, may he rest, as the head terrorist, who I love. I just think he's smooth. I mean, a little bit where he's talking about a suit and the holding people hostage. And we all know with Die Hard, it's a slow burn. It is a slow burn, because it's one of them. It drags and it drags, and you're thinking, is it ever going to liven up? And it does eventually. It does liven up. I mean, you've got the terrorists attacking people. It's on Christmas Eve, and it's just a man trying to save his wife, rest of the people, and so on. So where can I go with the story now? You know what I mean? He's running about, and it's just action, and it's action. And there's one thing people may or may not know about this. You've got two actors from a Bond film who, funny enough, played villains. You've got one who's finding the helicopter. You got one that plays his mate, who's also in the helicopter, and it's, oh, this is just like Vietnam. I was in high school, dickhead. Well, them two was in License to Kill. The one that played the main villain in License to Kill. He's finding the helicopter, been in a lot of films. And there's another villain in it, the one who's shooting after Bruce Willis, and he says, that we've told the cops off. The one with Bond there, who gets his neck snapped by Bruce Willis. He played the villain in The Living Daylights. There's a bit of history there. So it's basically, like I say, it's him saving the building, and they're going to blow up the building. He shoots, you got coppers shooting at him, and he makes a mate who, funny enough, played a cop in the original Crocodile Dundee. And it's one of them, you know what I mean? Everyone knows Die Hard now. It's a big hit, and it became a blockbuster big hit in 1988. You know what I mean? And people always have that argument: is it a Christmas movie? Is it not a Christmas movie? It's definitely fine, and it's that era when they made a lot of damn good action films. So you've got the terrorists, and you find out that Sean Bean is just doing it for the money, And I do love the music. But it's damn good. I always love the bit where Bruce Willis is hanging on that thing, and he falls to that legs, and he pulls himself up, and he's in that sort of vent, and he says that scene. Now I know what a five. How do you say it now? Now I know what a microwave meal feels like. I love it. I just love it. I just think that scene on its own is damn good. So you've got this one guy sewing off, the bit with snorking coke, and you've got the guy yourself from Bitanda, the building, and he's trying to get information out for him. He says, "You're just going to have to kill me." You don't see it. It's off Steve. You got the idea. He gets shot in the head. The guy from Nakarona. That's it, Nakarona. And yeah, the bit where he's sewing off this Watson, the guy's a bit of a dickhead. He's sewing off. If you've ever seen him before, think of Superdale. He was Superdale's love interest. Well, he's sewing off, making out it's Bruce Willis's mate, you know, Matane, and he's not. And because of that, he gets shot in the frigging head. But there's date bits in it. It's a very long film, but I give it its due. It doesn't feel long. You get into the action, it's action, it's action, and it's action. And when you think about it, it inspired a lot of other films, you know, Under Siege and other films that had that similar story where it's people who are a prisoner, one man trying to get out and trying to do the best he can to survive. So the villains think they've got the better. They find out, being Tom Bean, they find out that the woman's Tommy Chain's wife. You think Tommy Chain's done for, and he gets this done. Hidden behind his back. I think it's such a tough scene. It's got sellotape on it. He's pretending to laugh. Shoots all the villains. I love to see him. He says, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." Mute the language there. And he shoots the villains. Some Beam's hanging onto the watts, what he was sewing off with his wife. They take the watts off. Villain falls to his death. And I love it. I love it. I love to see him when he dies, winding him up. And he says, "You're not part of the illusion. You're part of the problem." But I love Die Hard. Though again, it became a big hit. It became a blockbuster of 1988. A big hit that they made so many sequels after with Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis became a big name. And it was a big hit. It was a stepping stone for Bruce Willis. And in all fair said and done, I remember saying this before, when I used to live, they had a guy, right, and he used to fix shoes. He used to repair shoes, and he used to make shoes. And he was telling me that he went to America on his holidays, and he actually saw the actual building, the Nakaroni building, was done by 20th Century Fox. There's a lot of makings back in that day. And he actually saw them filming the movie Die Hard. Interesting bit of story there. But he actually saw them where they was making the film Die Hard. They was actually filming it, and he actually had the looks of seeing that movie being made. And what a movie, you know, it was a big hit. And like I say, if I was repeating myself, it made a lot of damn good sequels. It was a smash. It made Bruce Willis what he is now, you know. You know what I mean? Another this is the Bruce Willis I miss, you know, the talky, the ratchet, the sarcastic Bruce Willis, and he does in this, and he improvised this on the spot with some of the way the cops and the situation they would have went through. So for that, I dilute the film. It's a damn good film. It's always good to watch on Christmas. It isn't too peasy and lovely and duffy, you know what I mean? It's fine, it's action film, it's a bit of a thriller, and it's a fun ride. That's Die Hard. Again, I'm going to talk about more movies, more movie reviews, more things on the way. And to them people, I'll see you later.